Well, great to be back here in north central Wisconsin. Today we're talking about workforce at this job summit. The nice news to be talking about is the fact that we have more people employed in the state than ever before. We've got the lowest unemployment rate we've had in more than 17 years. In fact, actually for this surrounding area, in Marathon County, in Portage County, in Wood County, in Lincoln, in Langlade, in Wapaka, Shawano, you go down the line, the unemployment rate in April was actually the lowest in each of those respective counties that it's been ever. And so we're at historic low levels of unemployment here in north central Wisconsin. That's great news for people looking for work, for young people entering the workforce, but ultimately going forward, it means all the more efforts we need to invest in building a strong workforce going forward. That's why we put more into K through 12 to build student success than ever before. We're putting more into our technical colleges than ever before, and putting more into programs like Wisconsin Fast Forward to provide customized worker training for employers here and across the state. So, like I said, it's a good challenge to have. Percentage of people working is one of the highest in the country, and the number of people working is at an all-time high.
Is it a little more enjoyable to come to summits like this when the numbers are what they are?
Oh, it's a great story to tell, but like I said, it's a challenge nonetheless. It's a good challenge, but the challenge is the fact that now we've got to work even harder, and we've got to start the earliest ages. It's why we're doing academic and career plans in 6th grade, because we've got to get out there early and start connecting our young people to where the openings are at, so that they can, whether it's in an apprenticeship, a technical college, or a UW system or some other private college or university, we can get them the education and training and skills they need to be productive.
Sure, Governor, I know that you recently came out with a release telling the Finance Committee, get this budget done. I know there's been some talk about possibly splitting taking the transportation budget out of the general budget. I guess your thoughts on that situation.
Yeah, our message on transportation is simple. Let's get it done. We've got a tremendous opportunity to fix our roads and our bridges. We put more, for example, here for the counties in this region, they'll be getting more in local road aids to fix roads and bridges and fill potholes than ever before. There'll be more in this budget that we propose to fix state highways than ever before. What we take it from is, over the years, there's been billions spent on major projects in Milwaukee. We finish those off in this budget, and we spend that money around the rest of the state. So we're able to do it without a gas tax, without a vehicle registration fee. And in the end, my hope is that there'll not be a delay, and that they'll not push this off far into the future, or for that matter, that they won't opt with one of the options at least is to not pass a transportation budget and leave it where it's at. That would be a huge problem for local governments, because they wouldn't get any of the $76 million more we put in this budget to help fix local roads.
Okay. Any other questions?
As far as the music festival bill you recently signed, can you just kind of explain your thoughts behind that?
Yeah, the real simple idea was that there are certain exemptions in the law that allow people underage to go to certain events. Music festivals were not one of those. So whether it's the Hodag Country Music Festival in Rhinelander or some of the others in the Chippewa Valley, there was a whole opportunity for teenagers to go to these concerts that was missed out on because they had alcohol on the premises. They were not allowed. This makes it clear they still have to have a system to make sure that people are carded and that alcohol isn't given to people under the age, but at least particularly those 18, 19, 20-year-olds that want to go to music festivals can still go with this new law change. Just one more way we're making it easier for people, not only for quality of life here, but for people to be able to be attracted to the state of Wisconsin.
Sure. Governor, what are your thoughts on the changes to a possible prevailing wage law?
Well, it's one of those, we made changes for local government. This would tie it to the state government. It's just one more way to save the taxpayers' money, and that money can be put right back into more highway and construction projects.
Sure. And there is some criticism, though, that this might, kind of hurt the middle class. I guess what would be kind of your response to that?
Well, we haven't seen that with what happened at the local level. Again, it's one of those where taxpayers who are hardworking middle class taxpayers will benefit from this and more work. We've seen, people said when right to work was going to happen that would devastate the economy. We're at an all-time high in terms of employment. We continue. As employment goes up, wages over time are going to go up as well, because it's a more competitive market. So with or without the prevailing wage, people are still going to be paid well for the jobs that are out there.
You got any other questions?
I'm good.
I have one more just real quick.
Sure.
It's kind of a big talker here. I'm sure you've probably heard about the congressional candidate that body slammed a reporter, kind of been a big talker. I guess, what are your thoughts on the current relationship between the media and politicians at this time?
Well, I can't speak for others, but I try, as you guys know, we try to get out every time we have an event I think this is we've now had with this stop here today more than 200 events open to the public just this year when we talk to the media. So again, I can't speak for others and their relationship, but ours is we want to be open to the public like the people we met here today, and part of that means being accessible to the media here in this state. And so we just looked at this the other day. I think this is just over 200 open, accessible media events we've had just in the year 2017, and we'll continue to do that because we want to be accessible to the public as we are to the media.
Hey, well, if there's time for just one more question.
Sure.
I know that you're big on drug testing for
Uh-huh.
people trying to get food stamps. Would you I know you spoke about it in your speech, but would you mind kind of touching on why you think that's important to do?
Yeah, we have over 102,000 job openings. For anybody who's an able-bodied adult, we want to get them in the workforce. And one of the things we constantly hear from employers is they have jobs open, but they don't have people who can pass a drug test. And so if we're helping people on assistance get employability skills, we're helping them get back up on their feet again, we want to do that. But as I've often said, public assistance should be more like a trampoline than like a hammock. We don't want people to be there forever. We want them to get back up on their feet. Part of that is we want to make sure that they can pass a drug test because we know so many employers require that. And instead of doing what other states have done, which is kick people off, if someone were to fail that, which we don't believe will be many, but if someone fails that, we actually put money aside for a rehabilitation program so that we can get somebody healthy and get them back in the workforce.